Morning everyone, day 18, Jeff does Rona, and that's Good Friday, so here it is, Easter time. Crowds have stayed away, or not in the surf, quite a few out in the water today. The waves are really nice actually, quite peaky, a lot of lefts and rights everywhere. Just about 2.5 hours to high tide, but pretty nice conditions. Rained all through the night, most probably going to rain all day today, and most probably for the next 4 days like it does every Easter. So there you go. But the good thing today, it's going to be raining, but none of the campers will get wet because no one will be camping. So that's a turn up for the books. Well, we've got temperature-wise today, we have a minimum of 20, maximum 27. Light breeze, not much wind around today with these showers too. No wind will get up, so no kite surfing today. And we've got a wave height of 2.5 metres. We said high tide is at 10 a.m. A lot of walkers, a lot of people in the beach areas, but really they've closed all of the car parks off now, so not much more happening. Well guys, the bunch of photos I've put through here, just basically saying we're not alone. A little bit depressing seeing all these aircraft grounded, but look, a lot of airlines, a lot of people are going through this, and we are as well, and we'll all be fine, and we'll come out the other end. But there you go, that's what's going on out there in the aviation world. Bit sad, but light is at the end of the tunnel. Look, I always try and find the positive in things, the half glass full option, and the one for today is basically we in Qantas have been around for 99 years, 100 years in November, and this is the first time in Qantas' 99-year history that every pilot is home for Easter, and every flight attendant, and most of the ground crew as well. So we're all home for Easter, didn't have to bid for it, no one had to go sick, it just all happened, and here we are. So this will be the once and only time in Qantas history, I reckon, when we'll all be home for Easter. So enjoy it with your family, have fun. And if you can't go camping, camp in your backyard. G'day everyone, here we are in the Oak Room with the pork pie hat on, very much similar to Top Cat or Yogi Bear. I just use this for my band practice. Anyway, so look, I was reading early on in the paper today that, on the web anyway, that social distancing is required in the house. So I'm coming up with ways of trying to keep myself my 1 metre, metre and a half away from everyone. And I'm looking for a hula hoop, would be really good, but the only thing I've come up with is exercise ball. I just hold that in front of me, walk around the kitchen and keep family members at a distance away from me, as you can see there. Also, in China, we've had the pandas, Ying Ying and Lili, finally are mating. And this was due to the lack of crowds at all the zoos. And at the panda compound, they were a bit shy, I think. Over all these years they've been trying to get them to mate. Finally, no crowds watching, and the things had some peace and quiet. We had some successful mating in the panda world at the moment. Just another note, also McDonald's is now doing drive-through, so you can pick up milk and bread at McDonald's. So that's pretty handy, just duck in there, grab your milk and bread, saves you going into Woolies or Coles. So good on you McDonald's, that's not a bad option for people trying to get some of the bare essentials. What have we got there? Yes, also in Poland we've got confessions. You can now do drive-by confessions, as seen by the video there. We've got, you can just pull up in your car, tell all your sins out the window, and voila, you 3 Hail Marys and you're good to go and drive on through. So not a bad idea there in Poland, thinking outside the box there, I thought. And here's some photos, the old locals only shots that have been around for years in the surfing world to keep the surf breaks for the locals. But with this coronavirus bit coming in place now, all of a sudden, finally the locals only sign is actually working, and there's some success out in the water with that one. So that's it from the Oak Room, just a quick update and signing off. Alright guys, here we go. Today is Good Friday, which is the 5th day of the week. So let's go to number 5. There it is, number 5, the Triffids, Born Sandy Devotional, and it's playing in the background, and I'll just have a quick read. Well, this band started off in WA, where they were playing locally. They played one album. This was their second album that they decided to get stuck into. They were over in London in the post-punk era, and they were hanging out with guys like the Go-Betweens and Birthday Party, a couple of those Aussie bands over there at the time. They got hold of they mortgaged everything they had, and they got a sound engineer, a Liverpudlian, who also worked with Echo and the Bunnymen and the Pixies, and they got together and put this album together. And there's some comments here. In a recent documentary on the album, Paul Kelly explains, Born Sandy Devotional is one of those records where every part of it makes up the whole being. There was a time in my life where I listened to that record every day. Every song is like a short story. There's a real foreboding sense through the record. There's a loneliness in a lot of the songs. There's some guy somewhere in a lonely place by himself. A lot of the imagery is small town country. There's the estuary beds or the seagulls feeding off the fish in the ocean, a guy heading out to the desert. The band gets that sound too, this high, wide, spacey sound, and the pedal steel isn't used like a pedal steel normally is used. It's used in a really interesting way that gives a feeling of distance and light and space, which complements the lyrics. So quite a poignant album for our present time, so maybe have a listen to it and get a feel for this album by the Triffids. Now, it's good to see some of you out there getting into some home cooking. Here is a photo sent in from Joe and John Beattie up in New Guinea, and this is a beautiful example of a spanakopita, which is beautiful. I think it's a Greek dish, and anyway, they cooked this up, had it for dinner, and thanks for the photo, Joe and John, appreciate it. Keep up the cooking, that's great. And here's another classic photo sent in by Chris Agapow, one of our mates in Brisbane, and his statement was, struggling to find players. This can happen in a household when the games get a bit bored or you're over it or that someone keeps losing. Anyway, good old Mutt there has decided to help Dad out and join in for a game of cards.
Police car and a screaming siren. You may drill and ripped up concrete. A baby wailing, stray dog howling. Screech your brakes and light blood blinking. Oh, that's entertainment. That's entertainment. A smash of glass and a rumble of boots. Electric train and a ripped up phone booth. Pushed by the walls and the cry of a tomcat.
Well, here's another handed in bit of info from one of our first officers, Pete Bunner. And thanks, Pete, for sending in your photos. And I can see there your mate supporting a wonderful beard growth there. You're looking really good for the comp at the moment. Here he is underneath his Defender, which is a Land Rover, a short wheelbase Land Rover, which he loves. And he's just replacing, it looks like the gearbox, I think he's doing some work on. And anyway, there is the outside shot. Pete was actually one of the guys who talked me into getting my little Defender. Through his conversation was to fly together and talk about how cool these cars were. And that's his little baby, and we're yet to get out on a little four-wheel drive bash together. And he's got a pretty good workshop there with all his gear and everything checked up. Look, another one of his passions he's had for a long time is this beautiful 1975 XB Falcon Coupe. It's under the process of restoration, 351 V8 and a 4-speed manual box on that. And a bit of dust there, but he has done some work on it, and there's some photos coming up of it in its new state. And here's the final shot of his Defender, looking all its glory, little camp, little swag there beside him on one of his outings when the gearbox was working. And that's a great shot of a very cool car. And here is the XB in its glory, all done up. It looks like at a racetrack, could be sniffing around Bathurst there. He's a bit of a motorhead, old Pete, so I reckon he's had it on the track, giving a bit of a squirt. Anyway, thanks, Pete, for your submissions. It's great to have all you enthusiastic, passionate people sending in some of your loves, and that's a great car shots for us all to enjoy. Thanks very much, mate. Take care. Okay, guys, the joke of the day. So we've got a little mouse, little boy mouse, little girl mouse. And little boy mouse goes to little girl mouse and says, hey, you want to play a game? And little girl mouse says, yeah. She says, okay, little girl mouse, what you're going to do is you go run and hide. I'm going to count to 10 seconds, and I'm going to come and I'm going to catch you. And the little girl mouse goes, whee! And then she runs off and she goes running down the skirting boards. She's into the kitchen behind the sink and ducked in there and hiding. She goes, I'm hiding, come and find me. And little boy mouse goes, I'm going to find you and I'm going to kiss you. And the little girl mouse goes, whee! And off he goes and he finds her and he kisses her and says, you want to play this again? She goes, yeah, let's play again. So all of a sudden, she says, okay, you know the deal. You go and hide and I'll count to 10 seconds. And she goes, whee! So the little girl mouse goes running off. She goes down the hallway. She goes in behind the fireplace, under the sofa. She goes, I'm hiding, come and find me. And the little boy mouse goes, I'm going to find you and I'm going to hug you. And the little girl mouse goes, whee! And he catches her and he gives her a hug. And she goes, you want to play this game again? She goes, yeah, let's play this game again. So off she goes running down the hallway. She goes up the stairs. She hides in the bedroom. She goes, I'm hiding, come and find me. And the little boy mouse goes, I'm going to find you and I'm going to screw you. I'm in the cupboard behind the shoes. And that's the joke of the day.